Welcome to the presentation on Errorless Learning and Overview for Direct Care Staff. Before we begin, we're just going to talk about the learning objectives. We hope by the end of this presentation that you learn about what Errorless Learning is, who it can be used with, why Errorless Learning is important, and that you understand the different types of prompting procedures. We also hope you learn about what can be taught using errorless learning procedures, as well as the types of errorless learning procedures and steps for implementation. So what exactly is errorless learning? Well, errorless learning is a set of teaching strategies utilized to reduce the possibility that errors will occur as the learner gains mastery over target behavior. Repeated trials using errorless learning ensures correct responding, and this involves reducing the possibility of errors by prompting the correct response immediately after the presentation of the instruction. Errorless learning procedures allow children to acquire new skills with as little opportunity for error as possible. And this is in contrast to the trial and error procedures, which use corrective feedback to shape responses. Errorless learning has a long history in the field of applied behavior analysis, with Sidman and Stoddard being the first to utilize errorless learning procedures with children in 1967. So who can it be used with? The following are some examples of who errorless learning has been demonstrated to be effective with. We have typical preschool children, individuals with autism and other developmental disabilities, individuals with intellectual disabilities, high school students who are learning a foreign language, people with speech and language disorders, and people with traumatic brain injury. So why is errorless learning so important? Well, according to Lloyd, Riley, and Powell, research has demonstrated that errorless learning teaching procedures are more effective than trial and error methods for both verbal and practical tasks. When teaching errorlessly, the types of prompting procedures used ensure accuracy at all times and a history of reinforcement for correct responding. This in turn reduces the possibility of errors being reinforced. And furthermore, the child begins to see learning as a pleasant experience, as prompting becomes paired with the correct responding and faster reinforcement. Errorless learning procedures maximize instructional time by accurately teaching as much skills as possible, and by utilizing the different prompt strategies that we will discuss later, errorless learning can keep learners who get frustrated with academic tasks from engaging in problem behavior. With errorless learning, the correct skill is always taught right from the beginning when a new skill is introduced. Here are a list of the different types of prompting procedures. As you can see from the picture, the most invasive prompts are on the left, with the least invasive prompts being on the right. The different types of prompts are verbal, full physical, partial physical, model, gestural, and visual. Errorless learning procedures can be used to teach many skills, including academic skills such as math, reading, and writing, and functional skills such as commands or requests, tasks, activities of daily living, and listener responding skills. Watch the following video to see errorless learning procedures being utilized by an instructor to teach a young learner with autism, as well as a brief description on errorless learning and steps for implementation.
Touch my ears. There they are. Where's my ears? You got it. Good. Touch my nose. Touch my ears. Touch my ears. There they are. Good. Where's my ears? Good.
So another thing you may have noticed is that the instructor was not allowing mistakes, and she was using prompting to keep the child successful. This is known as errorless teaching. Errorless teaching is a technique that is used when introducing a new skill or behavior. All responses are prompted so the learner is correct and has frequent opportunities to contact reinforcement. With errorless learning, the teacher delivers the instruction with prompts to ensure the success of the learner. and allow more opportunities for our learner to contact reinforcement. By teaching errorlessly, the student is less likely to exhibit escape or avoidant behaviors that get in the way of learning because he is able to contact reinforcement more frequently. No one likes to do something they're going to do wrong. This is the same with our learners. By giving our learners all the opportunities to be right, they will want to continue learning because contact with reinforcement is more frequent. Here are the steps to using errorless teaching. On the first trial, present the SD with a full prompt, then reinforce the response.
Show me hot dog. That's a hot dog. Wow. Show me hot dog. Yep, that's right.
As your learner shows increased confidence in performing the task more independently, start fading your prompts from more intrusive to less intrusive. Continue using errorless teaching with your new targets. As you fade prompts, you will need to ensure that the learner's responses are evoked by the SD rather than the prompt by using transfer trials.
So now let's talk about the different types of errorless learning procedures. First, we have stimulus fading, which is the original technique for errorless learning. Stimulus fading involves gradually increasing the dimension of the correct response to match that of the incorrect response. For example, decreasing the size of one picture and increasing another until they're the same size. Stimulus shaping involves making physical changes to the correct response and the incorrect response over trials. Delayed prompting involves gradually delaying the onset of prompts that identify the correct answer. Response prevention involves physically preventing the learner from responding to the incorrect answer. Superimposition with fading involves superimposing physical prompts and using stimulus fading to fade it out. And superimposition with shaping involves superimposing physical prompts and using stimulus shaping to shape that target stimuli while fading out physical prompts. So now let's talk about the steps for implementation. Prior to implementing errorless learning procedures, gather all your materials needed to teach the target skill. Have reinforcers ready before placing demands and have data collection sheets ready. Identify the target behavior and identify the prompts that will ensure success. Start with the most intrusive prompt necessary for the learner to correctly respond. Increase prompts if the child is making errors and repeat trials as needed. Fade prompts as the learner becomes more successful in responding and always finish on a successful trial. Provide reinforcement immediately following a correct response and use differential reinforcement based on the prompt level needed. Record the data and continue teaching until mastery criteria has been met. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation and that it has helped you to understand errorless teaching procedures.